Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ty Combs. I got out of the military as an E6. I was a nuclear machinist mate. I am the first candidate for Certrec, and this is going to be my review of my experience here at Certrec. So my initial decision, getting out of the military, I was used to just a straight path. I'm told what I do and I do it. Don't really have a whole lot of thought, not a lot of choice in any action that I have. So getting out, it was a little bit hard because, there's a lot of choices, a lot of different companies, a lot of different people. Luckily, by happenstance, I went to a SkillBridge conference and I ended up meeting Chris. Super great guy. If you meet him, you'll love him. But he was a straight shooter, and he told me everything, what Certrec was about, what I was to be expecting, and I liked that. I liked that he didn't sugarcoat anything. He kept it straight to the point, and that's kind of where I decided to go down that path with choosing Certrec. There was a lot of questions still, even whenever I chose to come down here. Driving down from Washington State all the way down to Texas, I was like, did I make the right decision? I had buddies who had worked for other companies, and they were doing more hands-on work while I was going to a training environment, so I wasn't really sure. But there's a few confirmations. One was that my military perception, whenever I was getting out, I wasn't sure. Everyone that's in the military, they've never gotten out themselves. They only have hearsay from what their buddies did, any experiences they had. So there was no real actual experience of getting out. So now stepping out and finally realizing that a lot of those military misconceptions versus what is actually civilian reality. Another thing is quality of life. I have my days scheduled, my weekends. I'm able to plan and be able to fully get out of the military. And the last thing is opportunity. Certrec, they have their hands in a lot of pots. They really network with a lot of people, and they're going to allow you to network with everyone. There's three main talking points that I wanted to really accentuate for why Certrec was such a good choice for me. Those are support, challenge, and opportunity. Moving into support, there's an amazing amount of support here. The first one being the transition insights with Chris Deckard. He, being a military veteran himself, he's able to really set you down right in the beginning and tell you what's myth, what's reality, what to expect, and all of the lessons that he's had and a lot of his buddies and stuff. I know that he has just a treasure trove of knowledge. Second person that I really worked with was Steve Dixon. He was a former nuke himself, worked 30 years in the civilian nuclear side of things, so he was able to really teach me what goes from Navy nuclear, what information correlates, what doesn't, and a lot of the verbiage that you learn in the Navy nuclear or the Navy nuclear program that really doesn't translate as well. He's able to help translate that for you. Another one is Lynn Meyer, personalized communications. My emails were not the best. If she would have seen my emails in the military, she would have had a time with it. But her communication training was able to really fine-tune business communications that I did not previously have. Another thing was just unseen efforts. There was a lot of preparation. They take a lot of time to really personalize your specific training. They find what your weaknesses are and they help you out with that to really make you an invaluable member to wherever you're going to be going. The next thing is going to be your challenges. There's a lot of coursework. I mean, it's a little bit reminiscent of power school. There's going to be some days where you're going to go home a little bit mentally exhausted, but it's a good thing. It's a challenge, and you're really learning a lot. There's some topics that were just completely foreign to me. One thing is verbal commitments. I had no idea. Being in the military, it's yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, right away. But those commitments can actually kind of get you in trouble with the NRC, because you realize you make a commitment to them that you have to follow. And if your management doesn't know about it, you can get in a lot of trouble. Another thing is regulation. With the Navy and NR, they're the big bad wolf. We don't really interact with them, unless it's them telling us something to do. But in the civilian side, there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of work in between each other to really make sure that you're following the rules. And then the last thing is just different reactor design. Did the different methods in controlling the reactor, or really just the design in its entirety is completely different. Another thing is the exams. They're open book, but they really make you get into the coursework or into the books themselves, instead of just the course that you had taken. So you really have to dive deep into the material that they reference to be able to pass those exams. which really helps you with, if you have some knowledge decay and you're not really remembering the answers, you know where to look and you know where to find it, which is more important than just knowing that. New working environment. Coming from a submarine, I'm used to, a little bit more harsh environment, some might say, but that's what I kind of learned to thrive in. And now coming into a little bit more relaxed environment where I kind of really have to learn how to slow down, take my time, and be able to absorb all the knowledge that's required of me. It's definitely been a little bit different. Finally, just a fun one in there is Fort Worth traffic. There's a lot of interchange overpasses. If you're not used to Texas driving, it's going to be an adventure. Lastly is opportunity. Like I had referenced before, Certrec, they're nuclear-wise, they know almost everyone. They know pretty much what's going on. They know what's happening because they have to know, right? They have to give these reports. There's a lot of things that they do, which every company kind of relies on them for something. And so that means that you're going to have a lot of networks if you're looking for a job in the future. They really know a lot of people. Next thing is skill sets. The stuff that they're going to give you is not what you've learned in the Navy nuclear side of things, but it will really make you directly employable. They can, if you find a specific company that you really like and you get into talks with them, they can really set you up to fine tune you for that specific company and really set you into that on the ground running. Last thing is exposure. I got to talk to VPs, I got to have dinners, I got to be in calls that I thought I was shouldn't have been into it. In the military, all those decisions are made way above you, and you're just told what to do. But here they actually brought me into calls. They allowed me to really see how the business is ran, and that was something that I had never experienced before. But going ahead in conclusion, I really wanted to thank everyone here at Certrec. They've really been amazing. I had a really fun time here. It's definitely been an adventure. Anyone who is sitting there deciding, should I do this, should I not, I would highly recommend it. Going out and going and doing a job for SkillBridge, something that you've already known how to do is great, but you're not really, that's not another tool in your toolbox. Coming here, you're going to learn something that's nuclear related, but it's completely different from anything you really learned, and it's really going to make you very valuable in the future. So thanks to everyone who has really helped me out along the way. Thanks for having me here at Certrec, and that's about it. Thank you so much.